You know, lately a nigga been fighting a whole lot of demons. A lot of shit we do gonna have consequences, but we gotta be ready for them. Emergency, I just got out of surgery. I'm having problems with my heart and it won't work. I did some shit in my past and it's cursing me. I'ma stay right here up on this plastic, God take breath from me. I'm sipping his hand and eat this pain, but it ain't helping. My little nigga going against the grain and that shit stressing me. I pray to God that God have mercy. I'm living a crazy life. I just shot at a nigga for talking some shit on the gang. He paid the price. I was young and the rest for the money. My hunger for paper.
You saved my life. You wanna lick shit, we can get rich shit, we can get paid tonight. Dollar bill.
Everybody want the money, everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down. You'll do anything to get it, but when you gonna go out? Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder by eye, you killed a nigga, you don't know him. You gon' go to heaven.
Grand Rising. Is my volume good?
Fight my demons, fight my demons.
So many demons. Me against these demons. Can y'all hear me pretty good?
Fight my demons. Fight my demons.
Fighting mine.
It's me against these
demons. Demons.
I'm fighting demons up in these ghosts. I'm fighting demons. I'm on the road. They came with a beam up under my coat. Get hit in the spleen if you want to smoke. That money be green, so niggas don't go. I'm looking so clean, I used to be broke. Remember they laughed at me and they choked. Gave them the ball and nigga they choked. Say it was turn on nigga you go. My little nigga don't follow no code. Follow no code, no code.
My niggas follow me like the Pope.
Stand on my word and stand by the consequence. They say I'm heartless, thanks for the compliment. I sing it dead, homie, other company. BMG gang, and bitch feel incompetent. Don't wanna hear that shit. I gotta kill that shit, leave the military. I can get ignorant, we not considerate. Niggas do silly shit, we get the drilling shit. Guilty and innocent. Don't give a fuck about bystander. I can pull up in the Highlander. Don't take no slander.
Don't take no slander. Hey, y'all go check the other account. Make sure it's live. Make sure we live on both accounts. And it be an Atlas, or you might have to find it under Ralph DaWise 2.0. Go check that account, see if it's live. Hey, listen, they can't stop us from growing, right? They can't stop us from growing. That's the beauty of all of this.
Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons. Fight my demons.
So we still live on 2 pages. We live on Twitch. We live on TikTok. Hey, love is love. Hey, we live on 2 pages on YouTube. We live
as I saw through the rubbish, my days of thugging get slow and rugged.
TikTok. We live
the puppets who control the public like a controlled substance.
Right. The reality of this is we a wave. We a whole wave, guys. We are a whole
dark and muddy
wave.
For Sunday, I'm still running.
And since we are a wave, I figured, what better time to tell a story than during the time of a wave, right? We're a wave. We're waving. Just a quick story. Before we get into that quick story, I would like to tell everybody, go follow She Paints. Go follow She Paints. She does have a page, Replay. I know how this works, right? You got to start somewhere. She has to start somewhere, however you look at this, right?
You are
looking, we got people that's out here, that needs help, needs protection, needs us to show them that they are safe, provide that to them, to show them that they are safe, that they, You can't hear the sound? You can't hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay. So we, decided to put together a little storyline, right? A little small, short story. Before we get into this story, um, first you have to know, why, who this story is inspired by. This story is inspired by She Paints, right? She Paints. Um, is a beautiful person. Y'all make sure y'all go follow She Paints 12 on YouTube. She Paints 12 on YouTube. This is her page right here. I'll show it right quick as we show this video. And this is it right here, her page. We'll do the fair use thing. Y'all make sure y'all get the fair use stuff up. Okay. So we're going to put this up right here just to hide, that person's face, to protect, everybody's trying to find her page. Hold on, let me get the link for the page real quick. I'll get the link. I'm gonna drop the link for the page right here. Boom. There you go. That's the link for the page right there. That's She Paints page right there. Y'all make sure y'all go follow that link to that page. Okay, let's get into this real quick. So the story today is brought to you by She Paints, right? Is inspired by She Paints, So here we go, right? And make sure y'all go follow the Energy of Atlas backup page, Ralph DaWise 2.0. Go follow that page.
Big individual, you know that boy is obsessed with me, and you going over there praying on him to buy. You are so sick. Girl, I can show you the paperwork. I make 2.5 times the amount of money now that I got rid of you out of my life. And when I get rid of him from the inside out, I feel like I'm going to go up to about $20,000 a month. Don't nobody play with my soul or try to trap me. You are a nasty, cruel ass bitch.
Now, she has decided to take her power back, right? She has decided enough is enough. This person has played this, negative void in her life long enough, right? As far as deliberately falsifying, the deliverance of text messages. I mean, he literally took a page down on YouTube just so he can falsify, text messages from her and him and make it in the light that he wanted. You know, he's trying to use different variation of small coins in order to push his numbers around, so on and so forth. And ladies, I think this goes to say, that you guys got to start unifying. You guys got to start, unifying together and show that this is not the type of level that for any of your, women, right? It's not about me. Like, I know everybody's going to try to turn it around, make it about me. He's butting into a situation. I mean, more men should have the, tenacity, integrity to stand up for all women, more. But for her to have to go through this level of stuff for so long, like, I don't know. I think more people need to get behind it. You don't have to get behind me. We're going to grow regardless, however we're going to grow. But I think y'all should definitely get behind each other, right? Because this just doesn't make sense that he's using YouTube as a way to bully, slander, attack, and further like antagonize. Like, all the way up to yesterday, he was texting this person. He only started retexting this person so he can try to get a conversation with this person that he can manipulate, because all the previous conversations was him basically, tearing her down, so on and so forth. And you can go back. So this story is inspired by She Paints, a lovely person, that just, and sometimes this happens. All right.
Death don't do you
We run
justice.
into these
So
people.
you already dead on the inside. You
You hear
stupid.
it?
You are literally
You hear what he's
delusional
saying to
to
her?
sit there and pay this boy to talk to him behind the scene, to cry and act like you made a friend. Ain't no fucking friends. He using you for money, and you don't care about it. The only thing you care about is trying to get a reaction out of me. Well, guess what? Your money ain't shit compared to my money and what I'm making right now and what you was giving me. You can't penny bitch me. You are a nasty, disgusting person who came across for money. That's all you will ever be. You're pulling strings behind the scenes.
He said that
and
to
I'm gonna show you how to
somebody
play
that
that game
gave
better than
him.
you.
He said that to somebody that gave him $10,000. Look how beautiful she is. That's a beautiful woman. I don't care what nobody says. If you can't see the beauty that's in that heart, if you can't see the beauty that's in that person, and literally, like, as long as it was good, as long as the money was coming in, as long as he was favored, as long as he used her. And that's the worst thing to ever feel, is to feel like you've been used, to feel like somebody manipulative you. Especially to get dipped. When you got somebody playing on the front end and the back end, dipping you, he dipped this person. All right. He dipped this person. And, speaking of dips, now would be the perfect time to let you guys know that the Atlas store is looking great. The Atlas family store. Make sure you go over there, get you a shirt, get you something. I seen some orders coming in. I still gotta, get these 3 orders out for the people that won what you call them last night. I gotta get in touch with the person that's ordering them. I think it's t-shirts. I don't know if it's I think it's gonna be these right here. Manipula-dip, right? And then you have don't get manipula-dipped. We have to pay a like with this printifile site, we have to pay like a pre shipping thing when it goes like outside. So I have to see if Sweden's on the list or whatever. But y'all make sure y'all go there. I'm gonna drop the link in a second. Make sure y'all go there, get y'all some merch, get y'all a shirt that say Criminums, right? Get y'all, flip my dip shirts. Don't get flip my dipped out here messing with these entities, personas. Get the blanket. You got the, Sister Wives blanket, Atlas Sister Wives blanket, and one for the family, the one for the family, Atlas family blanket, you know what I mean? And don't forget the t-shirts, the Fighting My Demon t-shirts, all right? Fighting Demons t-shirts. So yeah, we got that going right there. So make sure y'all check that out. So yeah, we're not letting them stop us. We're not letting them, push us around as far as this goes. Like I said, greater things is happening. We're all a part of it, so that's a great thing to be a part of something like that that's taking place at this present time. So yeah, don't get caught up in the flip my dipping. Be cautious. They playing different games out here. Don't be a part of it. And here's the link to the store right there. Okay. Hey, make sure y'all send me the videos of the blankets and stuff when y'all see them. Like we're putting some orders in now to try to get some stuff so we can see the quality of it, so on and so forth. We are going through like printifile. If we get the right amount of people, maybe we can start making it ourselves, put some money back into the network, so on and so forth. But yeah, this is her. And she's just taking her power back.
End of message. Delete.
She's doing
Press
art.
7.
She's got
Save.
a Europe thing going on. August, she's going to Africa, going on a safari. So she's always traveling. She wants other people to join in and be inspired by her strength and her travels. So, that's a great thing. And I think we all should be so honored to actually see somebody that come from nothing show, share their journey with us, right? We're all out here sharing a human experience. Some people, share theirs, and I think it's a good thing to see that strength. So I think more people should go follow her. I definitely think that. And yes,
Press
we
9.
should all just, you know what, it in this sense of things, it's like, why are we not greatly unified? Why are we not greatly unified? Why don't we have a network of unification, right? And listen, I'm following everybody that's following me. As you can see, my algorithm is changing, right? I'm putting golden in my algorithm. I'm putting, lovely lady Letitia in my algorithm. You like that? You like how I put the lovely lady Letitia? I think you should change your name. I think you just got it. I think you just got to add on to your name, lovely lady Letitia. Yep. Um, the triple L. That's what I'm calling you from now on. Triple L. Triple L in the building. They're gonna be mad as hell.
Resave.
Yeah, after 4 months of straight up supporting somebody who you know has completely harassed me, and then you leaving messages, participating, and then after you finally got my attention to text you, well, you showed me everything that you need to show me. At this point, it's not even really about you supporting him. It's the fact that I was always wondering, if I just talk to her and apologize, maybe she'll stop. And that's what I was leading to. But now you're participating in the harassment overtly while getting text messages from me in real time. So I wish you the best. And you can support whoever you want to support. I no longer have a feasible.
This is some of her artwork right here. If you're seeing this, this is some of her artwork. It's listen. So if you know art, and oil paint, oil paint is one of the highest selling. Um, you got to think like art goes a long way when it comes to art. Art goes a long way. So this is the art, that she has. Some of it inspires by, different things, her life, her struggles. Within the art, you can actually see the beauty of it, beauty being in the eyes of the beholder. You can take it how you want it, the crown is on the eyelids, however you want to look at it. This is, depths. This is depths, right? It's an inner working thing, right? A lot of people don't like the shape of their own nose, you know? A lot of people look down at their own face and they, I don't know, maybe we'll get her on the page and she can tell us the story behind the art, right? Maybe one day she can, and maybe that's something that she wants to do, start a page that talks about the story behind art, and that's a great page to start. Her being an artist and everything, start a page, the story behind the art. She starts off with her story, then she find other people who does the same thing and let them tell their story behind the art, you know. uh Maybe a virtual art gallery, that's beautiful too. A virtual art gallery is nice. Yeah, so I think it's about time we start inspiring each other,
And looking, because the money that you used to give me ain't coming back to my platform. No matter how much I said I didn't want it, I did have it in my back of my mind maybe to allow you back over, to allow you to support me, since you said you did it from the kindness of your heart. But you just showed me everything that you needed to show me, and I appreciate you. And when I wake up tomorrow, I promise you, I'm going to manifest 5 or 6 different people that support me 10 times fold more than you have ever supported me, because it was never genuine. I wish you the best. I will not mention you on my platform. I will not talk about him. He's on loop on a backup channel. And now that I know that you're still going to support him and his
predatory energy towards me.
Now, see, that's what I'm saying. This dude, like, just literally put so much on somebody else. But let's get into today's story. So today's story is about the first lady of Wakanda. Not chosen for anyone, right? They like to, parade themselves as chosen, as being the chosen one, And this story is about gatekeepers of YouTube and how they try to control the narrative. Now, remember, guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is a story. No one was harmed or injured in this story. This is a story. Story time, story time. Okay, story time, story time. All topics discussed is for entertainment purposes only. Everything is allegedly. Okay, so the first lady of Wakanda sent one of his mods to spy in Ralph's Discord. Ralph ignored the confusion she tried to create. So she went to the first lady, who loves mess. And naturally, he listened. So he then blamed Ralph for his own mod's messy behavior. The first lady then went to his new adopted parents, Paul, and Grandmom Gatekeeper, the very odd parents, very odd couple, and did a whole live saying it was to prevent Ralph from trashing their name because Ralph, who was silent on the matter, told him to run with whatever narrative he would like to run with. And so he did. And the saga begins. Now, remember, once again, all subjects and topics are, this is storyline based. This is not, don't be alarmed. Don't be afraid. It's just a story, okay? It's just a story. Love is love. Namaste. I say salutation, salam, okay? Right. How can you gatekeep an app? That's what I'm saying. That's how you know it's a story. You know what I mean? That's how you know it's a story. How can you gatekeep an app? You know what I mean? Stop laughing. It's not funny. Somebody was actually, inspired by this story. Don't laugh. Okay. Listen to the story. Okay. So the first lady then went to another content creator to spin the same narrative, basically a tangle of webs. He brooded himself, right? In fact, the first lady went to panels that he did not normally go to, basically trashing Ralph's name and trying to damage his channel. After 4 days, Ralph decided to respond. After he heard Ralph's response, the first lady went crying to the very odd couple, Grandma and Paw Gatekeeper, and he was adamant about getting Ralph off of the internet. He was mad, and he was threatening, and he was using the powers of the influence to damage Ralph DaWise's page. In fact, he even brought them over to Ralph DaWise's page and created a whole spectacle over there where it was illusions and magic and mystery. And before Ralph DaWise knew it, he didn't know what was going on. In fact, he hasn't stopped crying on air since Ralph DaWise responded. He has even offered money to his groups of minions to strike the channels of Ralph DaWise, even going as far as going to Ralph DaWise other towns. He was going to take Ralph DaWise no matter what. When finding out that Ralph DaWise had sister wives and the sister wives had husband brothers, he was determined to take everybody down that was a part of what was, always will be, and always was. You know? So, as he ran to Grandmom and Grandpa, Gatekeeper, to see what to do. He wanted to know what spells they can brew. They decided they'll call Ralph DaWise and try to resolve the issue. No, in fact, they'll happily encourage the foolishness and the fuckery. These was the decisions. Why call Ralph DaWise when we can encourage the foolishness and the fuckeries, right? So, do they go and call? No. Do grandmom and grandpa gatekeeper knows that they know their adopted child has caused chaos and madness in the world? They know, they happily accept the fact that that this person that they have adopted, Lady Wakanda, has caused mayhem everywhere. And they accepted No Nuts Wakanda. As they say, they had a certain place in each other's hearts that allowed them to overlook the fuckery and the mayhem. Do they know his levels of activity? These are the questions. Do they know about him doxing, harassing, stalking? These are the questions on the minds of the multitude as we sit back and watch and observe the mayhem take place, extortion of money, so on and so forth. Do they know that he is using his platform to bully, harass, and further make people feel a certain type of way? In fact, No Nuts, the lady of Wakanda, actually said he sabotaged Ralph in anticipation of what he thought Ralph would do. Not for anything he did, but just because he thought Ralph had the capabilities of seeing through the bullshit. And as he tried so hard to make himself look like a person that was loving, and I helped him and did everything I can for him, the lies kept building up. Mayhem was everywhere. He would refer to himself in the third party. I am, he would say. I am, he would say. And the narcissistic traits behind that is one of a godlike notion. He was determined to be this king. Everyone else was just a mere peasant. To him, the world was an ashtray, and he was on fire. He had so much nastiness, venom with him, that who would know what to do? And along came Ralph with a shoe and told him, shoe. Now, as we move forward with this story, you will see that it was never an illusion. Everything came down to one conclusion. It was surely the lady of Wakanda was losing. Because Wakanda is strength, but this is Wakanda. Wakanda is losers. They are all losers in Wakanda. And the lady of Wakanda was the biggest loser of all. She aimed to do so much harm. She wanted to teach the world how to dislike. And along came Ralph. And Lady Wakanda has all types of flying monkeys. I mean, you wouldn't believe the way these monkeys take flight. They take flight in the day. They take flight in the night. They take flight when they wrong. They take flight when they right. These monkeys are sure to take flight. But be careful. For if you see them at night, they might bite. These monkeys, they are not of light. No, no, no. In fact, it is a fright when you see one of these monkeys of not so light. Now, it's often difficult to recognize one of these flying things, as they may seem like normal people who are simply taking sides in a disagreement of conflict, right? They might just appear to be normal. When people discuss narcissistics, you have to remember they come with groups. They come with groups that overlook these things, right? And sometimes they use phrases, flying monkey reference to people, carrying out works of narcissism and so on and so forth, abusing people. They overlook these things. And when you think about it, the reference of flying monkey comes with the, wicked witch of the West, when we think about it, it might come with that ease on down method, right? Even though that the wicked witch of the West is the wicked of all the witches, that you got to ease on down the road, Don't you care for nothing? Let my tease on roll. I'm just ease on down the road, right? So it don't take a rocket scientist to ease on down the road. Now, of course, the wicked witch of the West comes with these flying monkeys. The flying monkeys do the spells and the casting, and you don't want to play with me. And I come with the covenant of 600, and we are on y'all. And, we're sacrificing platforms, stuff like that. These are all the things that you might hear a flying monkey say. Okay. And you got to be cautious of these things, because if you never ran across one, you might not know what it is that you observing. Okay, this is a worker for Lakonda. Lakonda is a low place. Okay, and the queen of Lakonda, he is ruthless. Okay, storyline. This is just a story of mine. Okay, storyline. This is just a story of mine. Okay, so this Lakonda queen is very, very low vibrational nasty. So when you run across these flying monkeys, the reason why they're flying monkeys is because they got to fly up out of the nastiness in order to be a trickster, right? So they come and they lie and they say stuff like, I never even knew the queen. I never knew who she was. She came to me in a dream and I've been following her ever since. Different variations of stuff like that. These are the things that you might hear this, connection to it, because it's all narcissistic. So once you attach yourself to it, it's like you're a part of it, like another limb, like another arm, like another leg. You know what I mean? You're a part of that now, So that's how that works, right? You become a part of that, of which is, always was, and always will be. Okay? That of that negative vibration, the nastiness of it, right? So they did the babbling for the wicked witch, in which the same way the people might work for the narcissism and the narcissistics, right? Hence the term being used to describe these people. A narcissistic might use their friends or family or even yours as spies to spread rumors, making them act as subjects for themselves, right? So when you see, and especially it's multiplied now on the internet, right? So because it's so multiplied on the internet now, right? When you see it, you don't even know you're seeing it. They're operating on other accounts. Other accounts come into the room and glorify them. And you're looking like, who is that praising these Lakondians, and you're like, who is that? And the Lakondians are all wicked. So they're like, ha ha ha, thank you, peasant, thank you, servant. We love you too, and The other people, they're people that they done tortured, probably people that they done, and it's like, it's smug, people give them $600 and still get, ridiculed. And I wonder where that person is at. Have anyone seen Lady T? Never mind. So yes, so you might have run into something of this, notion, nature, beast. You got to be careful out here now, right? There's monsters among us, right? And the queen of Lacandian could be lurking anywhere, right? He's very what do we say? Incognito. Yes, he's incognito, and he's cunning. He's very cunning, right? He's a flip-ma-dipper of all flip-ma-dippers, right? You got to be careful. He's a flip-ma-dipper of all flip-ma-dippers. He brings out witchamajiggers and witchamajiggers. You don't know what's going on, okay? So you have to be very careful with these personas, okay? Now, the trick is to never let them see you sweat. Okay? That's the trick. Never let them see you sweat. Okay? Don't see, the reality of it is we got to be greater inside than we is outside. On the outside, you might get shaken, but on the inside, be strong. They know they wrong. Okay? On the inside, be strong. They know they wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do on the inside is be strong. They know they wrong. Okay? Now, as we go through this thing, called life, right? And this boy meets world. When this boy meets world, riding on that thing that we call life, So, however you look at this, things are taking place in the atmosphere and around us that is beautiful and loving. But see, when you have these flip-ma-dippers, the flip-ma-dipper job is to make you think that it's not all loving, right? And you can tell. If you ever look into the eyes of a flip-ma-dipper, their eyes are probably red, right? Probably look like they've been straining, staying up all night, right? You can start seeing it taking its toll on them, right? But here's are some signs that someone could be a client, worker bee. Okay. Now, they side with the narcissistic no matter the situation or evidence provided to them, right? That means they don't take no discernment. They don't have no discernment on the situation. They don't care about the evidence provided. They don't care. They're going to take the side of the narcissistic person regardless. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, they look all worn out, every stuff. Exactly. You got to be careful. All right. Now, y'all hush up in the comment section, because if you talk about them too much, surely they will pop up, right? And we don't need these people popping up all over here, okay? We on 2 pages on YouTube, 1 page on Twitch, 1 page on TikTok. We don't need them popping up in our business, okay? We're trying to get away from them. All right. Now, they spread gossip and rumors about you, right? They do these little whisper gossip and rumors. They try not to be in the room. They can't stand your light. They can't stand in your light. So they don't like being on panels when you're up on panels. Like if you're up on a panel, they'll be like, no, I don't want to come up there because that light is up there. Turn off the light and I'll come up on your. So they, they'll play these little games like that. They can't be in your presence. You know what I mean? They follow you around, but they can't stand the light, you know? It's like a moth to a flame. It's like they can't stand the flame because they know they're gonna get, you know, burnt a little bit. And then they steal your intellectual properties. Let me tell you how they work. They steal your intellectual properties. They see what you have. See, this is why they go take down other pages, right? You see, these type of, you know, Lacandians, these Lacandians, right? The queen of Lacandia, he is ruthless, right? This queen, he's a ruthless queen. You hear me? He's not, when he tries to take someone likeness, image, you know, intellectual properties, he tries to go take their other pages. Like if they happen to have a Twitch talk, right? He'll go over to Twitch talk and take their Twitch talk. If they happen to have a U flap, he'll go take their U flap. He's just a habitual line stepper. These queens of Lacandia, they are line steppers. Do you hear me? And they just will overpass, bypass, and ignore everything and just step over lines habitually, right? And the reality of it is they're everywhere. They're everywhere, right? They gaslight or manipulate you. You see that. You see that, right? Especially if they think they winning. See, what they didn't know is Ralph was ahead of them the whole way. They couldn't figure it out. They were trying to figure out, how did he know? How did he get out in front of it? They was putting witch covenants of 600 against Ralph. He was taking them all out. Ralph was like, what? You know what I mean? They didn't know what was happening, you know? Every time they came, it was like everybody was kung fu fighting. Wow. Those kicks was fast as lightning. Wow. They didn't know what they didn't know what was happening. Ralph DaWise was just so good. He was just ducking all of they until they said, finally, we just have to attack the page, the page, the page, the page. They couldn't best him. They couldn't best him at nothing that they did. They were going up against debates. They tried arguing with him, lost. Right? They tried debating with him, lost. Finally, they said, we'll take the page and steal his intellectual properties. And that's what they aim to do, right? That's what they aim to do. And you have to be careful, because they never seen one person come with so many gifts. There wasn't a Ralph DaWise in all the lands. They never seen someone come with so many gifts. He had the gift to build people up or the gift to tear them down. And although Ralph DaWise chose to build people up, they didn't like it. They liked his ability to tear people down more than they liked his ability to build people up. But Ralph DaWise was a builder. He was a fisher of men and women, right? Him and his sister wives did great things throughout the valley and the nations. And the Lacandians could not stand it. They hated the fact that Ralph DaWise was so loving and caring and joyous with laughter and light. And they didn't like that he was able to build so fast. So many people liked him so quickly. They didn't like it. They did not like it. And the odd couple was determined after they met Ralph DaWise that they were going to put an end to him. They were like, we don't like him. And the son was like, I don't like him neither. And after they left Lacandia and left it to their son, adopted son, he became the queen of Lacandia. And he was determined. Ralph DaWise cannot stand in the nation. He went to the mirror. He said, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the wisest of them all?" And the mirror said, "Sadly, you mistaken. Ralph DaWise is still alive, and he has been replacing you with love and light and energy." And he was so mad at the mirror, Hims done broke the mirror. Hims done broke the mirror because Hims was so mad at the mirror. Now listen, you too might run across a Lacandian, okay? You too might run across a Lacandian. Now remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, right? And as a PBS kid, I want to tell you that, you know, I can do anything. Just take a look. It's in a book, A Reading Rainbow, okay? You know, butterflies in the sky. I can go twice as high. Just take a look. It's in a book, A Reading Rainbow, okay? So, however you want to look at this, whatever's happening in this world, it has nothing to do with us, okay? We could just stay peaceful, right? Peace be still. We stay peaceful. We stay humble. You know what I mean? And we hey, hit the Cash App, hit the PayPal. Love is love, man. They can't stop us, man. They can't stop us. No matter if they try, they can't stop us, right? We are still operating on 2 pages. We got the backup page up expeditiously, right? We got that backup page up expeditiously. If you go over on the backup page right now, you will see that we even got some numbers over there already, right? So if you go over there, we can build that page a lot faster. We can get that page to 500. Make sure you like some of the shorts that I'm posting over there. I will be posting shorts over there for the next week, the next couple of days. If you would like to join the Discord, here is the link to the Discord. Okay, right? I think if you put in at Ralph DaWise 2.0, I think that's the name of the page, Ralph DaWise 2.0. Listen, great things is happening for us. Great things is happening for us. What's going on, 76 Truth Seeker? I seen you around. I think you sent me a message on TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. I meant to send you a message back, but in my mind, I be messaging people back in my mind. Okay. Now in the physical world, might not have actually put, but in my mind, people got messages back. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So that was story time with Ralph DaWise. I hope y'all like it. I know I gotta put some mods on a new page. I know. Tell me when don't be doing that. You look at a text message and you might be hella busy. You'll look at a text message, you'll read it, and you already know what you're gonna say back. You already in your mind, you already texted back. And you might have forgot, something else might have happened. You like, damn, I could have sworn I responded to that damn text. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the story. Of course, we're gonna clip that story up and put it on, we putting it everywhere. But yeah, that's inspired, that whole story is inspired by She Paints. She Paints is going through something on YouTube because of her real life, because of the support she decided to give people on YouTube. It created a mayhem for her life. And instead of us approaching it, with the whole trauma bonding, we decided to approach it with a little bit of laughter. by making it into a story, right? I know last time we did a PowerPoint presentation on some people, right? But this time we wanted to switch it up and give it to you in the form of a story, because this person does not deserve that type of energy, right? This person does not deserve that type of energy. Make sure y'all go follow She Paints 12. She Paints 12 on YouTube. Go follow She Paints 12 on YouTube. Lovely person, lovely person. As y'all can see, I already follow. Boom, right here. I already follow. Right, they got one video up right now. 38 subs. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to this person.
You are a
This
sick
is the video that
individual.
they got up right
You know that
here.
boy is
They're
obsessed
taking
with
their
me. You
power
going over
back.
there praying
Let's
on
listen.
him to buy. You are so sick. Girl, I can show you the paperwork. I make 2.5 times the amount of money now that I got rid of you out of my life. And when I get rid of him from the inside out, I feel like I'm going to go up to about $20,000 a month. Don't nobody play with my soul or try to trap me. You are a nasty, cruel ass bitch. Death don't do you justice, ho. You already dead on the inside. You stupid. You are literally delusional to sit there and pay this boy to talk to him behind the scene, to cry and act like you made a friend. Ain't no fucking friends. He using you for money, and you don't care about it. The only thing you care about is trying to get a reaction out of me. Well, guess what? Your money ain't shit compared to my money and what I'm making right now and what you have given me. You can't penny bitch me. You are a nasty, disgusting person. Penny bitch me. You are a nasty, disgusting person who came across some money. That's all you will ever be. You're pulling strings behind the scenes, and I'm going to show you I play that game better than you.
End of message. Delete. Press 7. Save. Press 9 or resave.
Yeah, after 4 months of straight up supporting somebody who you know has completely harassed me, and then you leaving messages, participating, and then after you finally got my attention to text you,
Oh, I've been talking this whole time. They might have to accept whatever it is that you putting on them, right? You got to watch it, because the tongue is powerful right now. The tongue is so powerful right now. You got to be careful. We're in the time of Babel. We're in the battle of Babel right now. Y'all might look at it as babbling. That's why I say I got the gift of gab, because people are out here using the tongue as verbal assaults to, why do you think, you know, the lady of Lacondia is looking so bad right now? Why do you think he's looking so bad? His kingdom is not thriving off of negative anymore. He can't feed that energy of negativity. So he find light, he find pieces of the light, and he tries to absorb the energy of that light, except for, the light that he found right now is just too bright.
well, you showed me everything that you need to show me. At this point, it's not even really about you supporting him. It's the fact that I was always wondering, if I just talk to her and apologize, maybe she'll stop. And that's what I was leading to. But now you're participating in the harassment overtly while getting text messages from me in real time. So I wish you the best. And you can support whoever you want to support.
Wait, that last piece of artwork was nice. Look at that. Look at that artwork right there. That's nice right there.
And you can support whoever you want.
That's nice. Look at that one.
I no longer have a feasible way of watching and looking because the money that you used to give me ain't coming back to my platform. No matter how much I said I didn't want it, I did have it in my back of my mind maybe to allow you back over to.
So yeah, that's echoes from the fifth dimension, London, Paris, Amsterdam. So yeah, that's She Paints page. She's going to a lot of places. Come soon. So y'all make sure y'all go follow. Listen, don't let static stop y'all, man. There's a lot of low vibrational personas in this world. They're out here and they're doing their negative. They're doing what it is that they do, you know. They doing what it is that they do. They don't want righteousness. They don't want unity. They don't want love. They don't want, you know, and before anybody else tell y'all, I'ma just come out and tell y'all, I did reach out to, Set in the West, Wolf Kutcher, right? Because he's the only other person that has the ability to take the strikes off of Ralph DaWise's page, right? So I reached out to him to see if he was gonna, take some strikes off because there's only two people that struck the page. Two of them came from Set in the West, and one of them came from um, the Queen of Lacondia. So I reached out, in which case he responded on some weird stuff talking about give him information to the troll farm. I was like, I'm not a part of no troll farm, so I don't have no information on no troll farm. So once again, they jealous of my mind. He's gonna say, well, you know more than me. That's what he said. Well, you know more than me. What the fuck? Because I'm smart enough to put some shit together, you feel like make that make sense. He say, you know more than me. What? Right. He going, Wolf Coochie gonna say, give me information on the troll farm. I keep it 100 with him. I'll be honest with him. I'm like, bro, I don't know nothing about no troll farm. I ain't know nothing about this until I came over here. He said, well, you know more than me. Don't get mad at me because I'm smarter and was able to put it together faster. Like, what the hell do you mean because I know more than you? Y'all don't have no idea of trying to come to no conclusion, solution, no type of ending, none of that? I'm so serious. Cause I'm like, all right, boom, I can't hit this person up to see if they could take it off of the page because I think if one of them lift the strikes that they put on that page, then they might be able to, come, I might be able to get the page back. I don't really know how it works. I'm trying to put in a slip for it, but I don't know the URL to the page because I can't get to the page because it's clipped. So I don't even know how to put the URL in to try to apply for the what you call for the page, right? I don't know who created the troll farm. I came over from TikTok, you know what I mean? And, this was the level of chaos that was going on. Essie Berry had hit us up way back in December, going into December. And, we tried to hit up Sean Davy Way. We tried to hit up Storm Monroe just to try to get to the bottom of it. And, these Storm Monroe was the only one that reached back to say that he'll do an interview, but me being me, I try to show loyalty to a certain entity, and I told that certain entity that this person contacted me, and that certain entity took it upon themselves to send. I don't know what type of email they sent. They'll never show you the email that they sent to Storm Monroe, but yeah, it was some snake stuff from the very beginning. And in return, like Storm Monroe hit me back and was like, never mind on the interview. So yeah, that's how that pretty much went. So now I'm starting to think like none of these people actually want truth. None of these people actually want to get to the bottom of it. None of these people, like, I'm starting to think like it's starting to look like all of them is involved with each other. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like for Wolf Coochie to say like, give me some information on a troll farm. Bro, I don't know nothing about no troll farm. I just put this together seeing through all of y'all bullshit. Like, I'm not, part of no troll farm or anything like that. I don't know what weird shit y'all talking about. You know what I mean? So for him to say, like, give me some information about the troll farm, I'm keeping it 100 because I'm trying to get the strikes taken off the page. So I'm keeping it 100. Like, bro, I don't know nothing about no troll farm. I came over here from TikTok. You know what I mean? So for him to say like, yeah, I can't work with you because you know more than me. Like, what the what? I can't work with you because you know more than me. Did you brush your teeth? Did you wash your face? Did you open your eyes? So yeah, at this time, if anybody would like to come up and speak on the story, I know it was a good story. I hope y'all like it. More to come in the future. We might even put a little cartoon clip together to go with the story. Hey man, Tiny Toons Adventure, come and join the show, man. They're tiny, they're toony, they're all a little loony, and in this cartoony, they're exploiting your TV. There's football, this fuzzy, Bearsy Dazzle Ducky. And Myra is a queen, so here, Acme Acres. They all out. They all out and about, all of them, There's Wacko, Dacko, and Doc, all of them. They all around. I seen them. Seriously. I'm so serious. What the hell? So serious. These people are always lurking. They lurking. For real. They Looney Tunes. All of them is Looney Tunes. You know what I mean? They're tiny, they're toony, they're all a little loony, and in this cartoony. They're all out. They out and about, man. They out and about. You got all of them. Even Courage the Cowardly Dog right there. With his two old people that act like they don't never see none of the shit that Courage getting into. Two old ass people always acting like they don't see Courage getting into nothing. And Courage is just the loveliest dog. And Courage is just the here, Courage, where you at, Courage? Courage, where you at? Courage. Courage tied up in the basement somewhere going through it. They upstairs acting like they don't know a whole hell is in their basement. You know? Then I go ahead, bro. Yo, your birthday's in like 4 days, bro. Stop asking me for money. Your birthday is in 4 days. 4 days, your birthday. Nah. Don't count down to my birthday, my boy. Yours is soon. Don't count my birthday, my boy. You wait. Your birthday. All right, we got to get this merch ordered today. These 3 shirts ordered for the winners of last night's raffle. So if the winners of last night's raffle, I'm going to reach out to you in Discord. I'm going to put a message out in Discord as soon as I find out how this person wants to order them. Oh, never mind. You already typing me. All right, I'm gonna save my typing then. All right, so we're not done yet. We're not done yet. We got another. Okay, yeah. So I will reach out to the 3 contestants from last night's winning for the shirts, and we will get those orders put out to you expeditiously. All right, I'll try to take care of that today. One's in the chat. One's in the chat if y'all want to continue the story. One's in the chat if y'all want to continue the story. All right, so now, in order to continue this story, we have to do a little prelogue, okay? We have to get into the Queen of Lacondia, okay? Are y'all ready? We have to get into the Queen of Lacondia, okay? We have to tell you about No Nuts Lacondia. Y'all ready to learn about No Nuts Lacondia? Huh? No Nuts Lacondia. Born into chaos and raised in care after his mother was incarcerated, No Nuts he carved his path not through therapy, but through theoretical flares, virtual tantrums, and a relentless pursuit relentless pursuit and relevance, a self-declaring, hobosexual. He's a hobosexual, and No Nuts persona grew brighter than his, skin, with that nose and every stuff, and the idolization of himself was crazy. He idolized the rich and famous, not because he admired talent, but because he believed he deserved their lifestyle, by divine enlightenment, he think that he was the chosen one, right? He believed that he was the chosen one, the head of Lucandia. Everything was supposed to rise and fall off of his butt crack, right? And when fame didn't call and his commercial failed and everything failed him, and he couldn't do the whole welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger, can I take your order anymore, right? He became a YouTuber. And that's where he thought he was going to create all these different storylines around himself, right? And he started making up all these different lines around himself, and nobody in Lucandia really knew what was going on. I mean, in Lucandia, everybody do what Lucandia do, right? So No, he entered into Hag Nation cult with dramatics, explosives, and all types of magical lies of mysteries and untold stories of how he boots on the ground and he's a lawyer and all of these different masquerades of personas. And he was, I call it a cyber freestyle, right? He was cyber styling, right? Helping her launch her comeback, campaign with GoFundMe's and false accusations and crowdfunding and so on and so forth, and drifting energies and going back and forth with certain variations of content, rhetoric, and bullshit. It was a modern day soap opera, if you would say. And he built this, and he built this falsification around boosting, when booted from yet another platform, allegedly stalked, coming from Clubhouse. No Nuts fled to YouTube, where he outright decided to have this level of revenge, and no matter how much he grew, he was always going to have that power of hatred. Hatred was his power. He grew within that. He festered in it, right? And then it was the hustle. The hustle. Man, the hustle was heavy with this one, right? Dry begging royalty. No Nuts was mastering the arts of emotional blackmail in exchange for acting classes, stolen ideas. If it was said in the space, he claimed it was his. I mean, he even started claiming emojis. He was like, those are my emojis. That's my emoji. And people were like, what? Right? He said, yes, I am the culture. That's what he was saying. And he was saying, I am the culture. Once he realized that the culture was something different, he didn't like it anymore. So clout, any spiritual like smartness, he claimed to be the chosen one. Person became a target. If they get more attention than him, he would try to tear them down. If they was getting more traction, more love, right? He was, I mean, you might as well say he need a whole application to himself. Instead of OnlyFans, he need only fantastics, because he is definitely out of his marbles. That's why he's the queen of Lucandia, right? And just like everything was said, everything was his, he would just claim everything, right? Let's just say if he looked at it, it was his, okay? He had a whole reality etched out in his mind where he was the star people and everybody else was lucky to be a part of his journey, right? Um, and then it was the Wise Man saga. In rare moments on YouTube, sincerely, No Nuts invite a spiritual content creator known as the Wise Man onto his platform. I think everybody knows once the Wise Man came into the picture, all hell was about to break loose, because there's no way someone of No Nuts character, someone who steals people's identity, someone who literally steals people idea, likeness, image, everything, is going to let the Wise Man walk away unscathed. He's got to steal his character, likeness, image. I mean, he'll even go as far as trying to talk about being chosen again and the chosen ones. And he'll try to bring back spirituality and act like he's the one that can talk about spirituality with his tarot card readers and so on and so forth, And so once he brought the Wise One onto his panel, at first he loved to claim the energy that the Wise One brought to his panel. The people that was coming to feel the energy of the Wise One, he loved it. He was like, yes, bring more of that to my panel. Yes, I love it. And then it turned soggy. So he realized his enemy also loved the Wise Man. Once he realized that everyone was loving this Wise Man, he started despising the Wise Man. Oh, it was sad. From admiration to sabotage, it escalated so fast, one could have got lost in the conundrum of the mayhem. right? He sent spies, he spread lies, he weaponized all types of stuff. I mean, he was weaponizing his supporters, he was weaponizing his content, he was weaponizing titles, he was weaponizing friends, he weaponized every stuff, right? And waged a whisper campaign to destroy the wise man's growing platforms. It started with whispers of the Discord and the sister wives and whispers of this and whispers of that, right? And when the wise man stood up, not for clout, but for an abused supporter of the Lady of Lucandia, it triggered an ultimate spiral. And no nuts, Lucandia cried on in air for weeks on that, and cried, and he finally went to his very odd couple, and they said, let's sit down and have a seance. And they said, and they did a whole live, and the two chaotic gatekeepers of YouTube said that you have to ignore this person. But no, that's not what No Nuts wanted to do. No Nuts did not want to ignore this person at all. No Nuts wanted this person off of every airwave everywhere. He was determined. He said, we're going to go to Twitch Talk and get rid of his other accounts. We're going to get rid of this person no matter what. Because how dare you stop me from using people? How dare you stop me from flip my dip in this whole thing? He was adamant about it. He was in a rage. He was angry. Now, remember, this is for entertainment purposes only, and none of this is real. This is a story. This is a story. Story. All right. So when the wise man stood up and he knew, and when No Nuts knew that he was outsmarted by this wise man, he was in a rage. I mean, he want nuclear. He want nuclear. He was determined, and he want nuclear. One second. One second, guys. Back to the story. Sorry, had an important phone call to take. Back to the story. So, supporting his betrayal, it was so much. An older benefactor from had supported No Nuts over $10,000. This person then supported this person, you know, realizing the toxicity, her punishment was he stalked her, he doxed her, insulting her, verbally, VI, messaging, so on and so forth, bizarre text messages, threats, extortion, pay him the money she gives to him, someone else, and so on and so forth. I mean, this person, this lady of Lucandia was out of control. Do you hear me? The lady of Lucandia was out of control. Comment section, boo. Boo for the lady of Lucandia. Boo, lady of Lucandia. Boo, you're so evil. You're so wicked. Boo, lady of Lucandia. Right? Remember, these are stories. These for entertainment purposes only. Story time, story time, story time. Right? And No Nuts is walking contradiction. A digital diva with a messiah complex, an emotional range of a broken blender. He weaponized his trauma, sexualization, and followers in a very never ending quest for fame, cash, revenge. He is a hurtful, spiteful, angry, delightful. The new Ice Cube. Motherfuckers hate to like you. What did I do? I'm just a kid from the gutter making his money off these bloodsuckers. Cause I'm a motherfucking renegade. Never been afraid to say what's on my mind at any given time of day. Cause I'm a renegade. Never been afraid to holler about anything. Anything. Renegade. I'm sorry. So, but in the land of YouTube, even queens can fall. Even queens can fall in the land of YouTube, especially when the crown is made of Wi-Fi and delusions. I mean, he said, why not lie on Wi-Fi, right? And the lady of Wakanda was a wicked himself. He was a himself of wickedness. You know what I mean? Subject disciplines, chronic. And when it came down to it, his delusions was so grander. He had the grandest delusions of them all. I mean, he would literally respond to something before someone even did anything. He would respond to something. I mean, just because he perceived someone had the potential of greatness, he will respond to tear them down before their greatness can even spark. Because he felt as though he was a baby gatekeeper. He had grandpa and grandma, the odd couple, you know? No Nuts is an average kid that no one understands. Mom and dad and Vicky always giving him demands. You know what I mean? You know? So he went to his YouTube family and who granted every wish. They told him he can lie and say whatever he wanted to dish because they're his odd parents, very odd parents. You know what I'm saying? That's his YouTube odd parents. You sick? Yeah. They're his odd parents, very odd parents. You know what I'm saying? You sick? What the hell? Oh, there you have it. I'll say, okay, so No Nuts presenting himself, he wants to be this ideal image. He's fraudulent, he's fake, right? So in the land of narcissistic, and you got to watch out for this. This is serious right here. This is triggering stuff right here, right? You got to watch out for, personality traits such as this, cluster B personalities, infiltrating, sensitivity, matters, important things, right? These are the things that a narcissistic person will attack, right? He refers to himself as a manager or management of some sort, right? He manipulates and manipulate and flips everything to fit his, likeness. Everything is based off how he wants it to be, how he perceives it. So you got to watch out for these type of traits, right? Uh, the fantasies of things, right? The fantasies of his success, right? Saying that he's an actor, he's T'Challa. These are characters that he created, admiration of himself, speaking so highly of himself, but never speaking highly of no one else. You hear him speak highly of other people, but these are other people that he's trying to get favor from, trying to gain access to, right? When it comes to requiring, excel, admirations, lashes out when it comes down to like, horrible traits. Yes, these are the horrible traits because these are the traits that he takes in, right? If you're not praising him, this is why one like this cannot make it in acting class. They will walk out of acting class because in acting class, you have to have the ability to take criticism, right? This is one thing that a narcissistic person cannot do is take criticism, right? He can't take constructive criticism properly, right? Unless it's given to him in a way that's babying him, right? Unless it's giving to him in a way that's like saying like, man, you're great. You got this already. You man, listen, you know what I mean? If you give it to him in a way where it's like, scalding, or he think it's coming off scalding, he's gonna pout, he's gonna cry. Narcissistic people are good at this, so you got to be careful for these traits. And then you got to watch their borderline features as far as like the the abandonment, manifests as stalking, doxing, retaliatory behavior, right? So they make it seem like that they're doing this out of retaliation. This is their justification. They tell on their self. Remember, he said, I knew that he was going to do this, so I create a problem with them. That's what he say. I'll make a problem with somebody because I know so you creating the problem. I'll make somebody hate me. I'll make them look at me as a monster. This is what he says out of his own mouth as he justified the emails that he put out himself. These emails are disturbing emails. These are emails where he's calling a black woman a N word and a B word, right? And it ain't like he called her in separate sentences. He put the two words together, right? He put the two words together, right? If you listen to some of the things that he's saying to this person, right? And then, like, if you look at some of the fight back that she had, the fight back that she has on the emails is created from him, right? When you got somebody constantly pushing your buttons, you're gonna say, man, listen, God bless you, I'ma pray for you, so on and so forth. You're gonna turn back around and say, like, yo, you need help. You're acting like a kid, you're a toddler. You're gonna say stuff like that to somebody, right? Nothing of what this person will show you that this person was the one. He's taking this person's defense and making the defense as if this person was the one stalking and harassing him. But really, why would this person stalk or harass him? There will be no reason to. I mean, who gives you $10,000? Who gives you $10,000 and then stalk and harass you? No, that don't make sense. Now, the person who got the $10,000 might have a tantrum if the money stops or slows down, right? This is the tantrum, right? You want to get back on terms with me, turn the faucet back on, start sending me money again, right? So you got to be careful with these things, right? He's just going to find another person to do it to. I think he did it to Lady T, but she'll never come out and say, because her pride, she's got too much pride. So she'll never come out and say it, right? And even though he just threw her to the side 2 days ago, and Lady T was over here. So Lady T watches the content. Well, on the other page she did. So Lady T, she's out there, you know what I mean, on YouTube, and she done sent that man $600. And he's like, I don't care how much money you sent me. You reached out to the op. You reached out to the op, and I told you not to insert yourself in this. But when he was using that lady against another lady, it was fine. And then once he got that lady, once he used that lady against the other lady, he threw that lady away. Just like he's using this lady against another lady, allegedly, supposedly for entertainment purposes only. So you got to be careful for these type of behaviors. Rapid shifting between idolizing and divulging into others, right? So he'll sit there and he'll try to play this way or play that way. You know what I mean? So real quickly, that's why Ralph DaWise went from someone that he idolized to someone that he turned into an enemy, because he's seen other people taking a liking to Ralph DaWise, right? It was for him to take a liking to Ralph DaWise, but when other people started taking a liking to Ralph DaWise, here's where the problem lies, right? I don't like the fact that my enemies is mentioning you. I don't like the fact that these people are saying your name, I don't like that. So since they're saying your name, you're now a problem too, right? Classic jealousy, classic, you're too cool, classic, stop making jokes, stop making people laugh, classic, right? So you got to be careful for this, impulsive, destructive decisioning, because this is emotional. This is very emotional. This is, diluted mind mixed with high emotions. So you'll see these different lash outs. You'll see these different rants. You'll see them, crying in the car one minute, and then you'll see them acting like they're so happy. You'll see them, eating, and then you'll see them acting like they're, these are different mood swings that you can see in a narcissistic maniac when running across them, allegedly, supposedly, not really, right? So you have to be careful. It's a blackmail, it's emotional attachment, it's traumatized to monetize shock, traumatized to monetize shock. All of them are doing it. It's a repeated thing, right? You watch them all play these different things. My mom is sick. I'm sick at this time. It became their survival, right? People give more money when they hear sadness. People give more money when they hear you, down and out doing this depression bit, right? Go back and look at all of them. All of them practice these different variations of of sadness throughout the month as grifting tactics, right? And I hate to say it, all of them do it. If you look at all of these, and it goes all the way up. Kai Cenat does it. You see Kai Cenat sit there and cry. These is millionaires, billionaires. You'll see Kai Cenat sit there and cry. Aiden Ross, you'll see him do it, right? Over on TikTok, you'll see Pinky Dow do it, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So you'll see different things like that, right? This is the narrations of how they play, you know what I mean? Um, isn't it the month of Ramadan? Isn't it? I think it's Ramadan. Man, I ain't listen, I ain't going to look. April 20th is about to come up. Easter's coming up, right? Um, so the new sun is coming. Nobody's about to, you want yourself to be relevant so bad. You want to be relevant so bad, right? And remember, I was the one that helped you, right? I was the one that helped you. Think about that. I helped you. And here you are spreading nastiness, spreading nastiness. Like, wow. You won't stop. You won't stop. You first came over here and tried to tell me how Too Strong in Them was better and so on and so forth, and how you respect them guys. And then I watch you over there disrespecting them too. Your level of you're just nasty. You're just nasty, right? You're looking for a fight. and it's not here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're not your fight is not here. It's not with me. I wish you well on your endeavors, right? I wish you the best in your future as far as whatever it is that you aim to do on this platform, whatever it is that you're out to do on this platform. I wish you the best in it. Okay. Uh Hey, timeout is a wonderful thing, ain't it? Timeout is something beautiful when you're on these platforms, right? That's why I'm so glad that I got mods, that just look out for me so much. I'm so glad that my mods is on point with it, right? You see, I didn't have to say the person name, right? We just in tune like that. You know what I'm saying? You know? But yeah, appreciate that. And this stuff that we go through, this stuff happens in real life. You got to watch the traits, the historical traits of this, right? The emotional attachments and the attention seeking behavior, excessive emotionally, right? Believes relationships are more intimate than they are, right? He makes things out to be bigger than what they are because there's nothing that certain variations of things. There's nothing that he feels like's off limit when it comes to other people. Now, of course, everything that he do is based off of need to know. Whatever he think you need to know, whatever he think you need to, he'll do this thing. But these are based off of levels of control, right? Um, um Using appearance and sexuality to draw attention in. This is where all the clothes coming off, the dancing, the rubbing on oneself, so on and so forth. Talking about his me, his pleasure, so on and so forth, saying that people want him, this, that, and the third. This is like trying to infiltrate your mind, put thoughts of him inside your mind. Nasty stuff is real nasty work. Antisocial tendencies, you got to be careful. Deception, manipulation, faking credentials as far as pretending to be a lawyer. Catfishing supporters as far as pretending to be chosen or real or whatever it is that they want him to be, right? This is not someone who's trying to be their authentic self. In fact, this could be someone who lost their authentic self, trying to be so many different images to appease other people. They might not really know themselves, on top of the fact that they might have mommy issues, past, previous problems. A lot of people, if you look at it, it's like, you know, I I I want to be a woman because I go against women because I want to be a woman. You know what I mean? Like I attack that because it's not the one that I want. You know what I mean? I want coochie, but it's not the coochie I want. I want, you know what I'm saying? He's like tasting coochie, but it's not the coochie that you want. You know what I mean? It's not the coochie you want. You don't want the coochie that way. You want your very own. You know what I mean? You want your very own. You know what I mean? Not one that you got to put in your pocket. You can never get that. You know, the homosexual games have to stop. So yes, so this is a person that you might have to curve, watch out for, be careful for. You know what I mean? These are those type of people. Make sure y'all go follow the backup page. We are live on 2 pages right now, as pre usual. You know what I'm saying? They can't stop nothing. Don't let nothing stop us. We build, we grow. You know what I'm saying? Hey, they mad right now. They mad right now. Y'all know they mad right now. Keep it real. Keep it real. How many people know they mad? One's in the chat. One's in the chat if you know they mad. I know they mad. One's in the chat. So you got to watch out for these historical traits. Believes relationships are more intimate than they are. Using appearance, so on and so forth. EI, career, subjective behavior, right? Some of these people watch movies and they believe that they can be what they see in the movie, right? So because so many people think that they can, be that person in that movie, they act out their life as if they're that person in that movie. They'll start pretending to be airline stewardess. They'll pretend to be bankers. They'll pretend to be lawyers. They'll create a character, and this is what they tell themselves: I'm going out for a role in a movie, So I'm trying to get into character. So this is what I'm doing to get into character, right? This is what they'll do. You know what I mean? They'll say, I'm about to play in this movie, and this is where I got to get in this character, like Heath Ledger. You know, I got to get in this character. Da 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 da. I got to do this wicked stuff to be in this character, and that's their justification for everything. That's where they hide behind everything. You know what I mean? I'm an actor. In order to act, you got to do all of this stuff and get in the character, and so on and so forth. So this is one of the things that they do. This is how they play. You know what I mean? And it's a failing, you know, it's constantly failing at auditions not going right for him because he's walking out. He don't want to give the proper response or energy that he wants to give. What he think it's, well, I think this character needs this, and I think that's not what they asked you to do. That's not what they asked you to do. They asked you to say, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger, can I take your order? That's what they asked you to say. They didn't ask you to, you know, ad lib. They didn't ask you to add nothing in. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? That's it, right? But they like doing other stuff, you know, and you can't really say nothing. So antisocial tendencies, deception and manipulation, faking credentials, catfishing supporters, lack of remorse for harming others. This is a big one right here. They act like they don't know that they're harming other people. They act like other people don't come with feelings and emotions, mental anguish, anything like that. They act like they don't know it, right? They act like they're so detached. They just do what benefits them for that moment. They do what benefit them in that period of time, right? Whatever benefits them, right? So you got to be very careful, you know, with these different, you know, levels of things, okay? So, um, exploits people emotions and financially under the gust of vulnerability, right? So this is what they do, right? Once they get attached, once they get a certain level of your knowledge, information, everything like that, they'll threaten to exploit you. They'll threaten to expose information about you. I'm going to release your information to the public. I'm going to tell people your name. I'm going to tell people your real name, your government. I'm going to tell people your address, so on and so forth, right? Now, for somebody who already been victimized, for somebody who already went through some stuff, you know, where your credit might have been stolen or people might have, you know, got your social security number, whatever the case may be, you're going to be like, no, 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 please don't do nothing like that. Don't do nothing like that. Here you go. Take some money, right? So this person knows that this person has been traumatized already. This person knows that they've been through something already. And this is how they, you know, keep that, you know, window open, right? So the plausible deniability will come in with saying, like, I never told that person to give me no money. I suggested that that person give me money, and that person gave me money. Did I specifically say, give me your money? No. I said it'd be nice if I had your money and then you gave it to me. Right? See, so these are ways that they play behind words. You know what I mean? Yes. No, this is the problem right here. And I'm glad you brought that up, right? When you Google No Nuts, you're going to find out all the wicked stuff that he's been up to social media wise. There's no you know, there's nobody that's going to tie themselves to that as far as movie going, so on and so forth. They can't tie themselves in. They can't, right? I mean, Tubi might. He might get a Tubi. Him and Wolf Coochie might be working on a Tubi because you know he'll sign over. That's why he said, should he beef for money? That's what he said. Should I beef for money? And that's probably signing up for some bullshit ass Tubi, you know, that they're gonna do, you know. But hey, that's them, right? So like I said, we're putting together the team of people that's going to put together the two houses and, you know, social house. We'll call it something, you know, social battle house or something like that. And we're going to put together the team from TikTok and the team from YouTube to come in, the team of streamers to come in and do different, that's what we putting together. So we're working towards that. That's where, you sell, you buy, like, that's why we're selling the crystals. That's why we got the Atlas family merch, because that's what we working towards. We're going to show them that they can't stop us. If we really put our foot in this and try, they can't stop us. So now we're going to strive and be the best that we can be. We putting together the unification programs. We putting together, I need a representative in every state. I need a representative in every state. I need to know what your state needs. Whatever the case may be, I need you to find other people in that state that, from the cities of that state. We going Atlas with this. We going global with this. Yeah. So I need a representative in every state. We putting together the list, everything. We're not going to stop now. Now we really going to, do this thing for full time. See, before we were just part-time pimping. All right. Now we full-time hustling. It's over with. It's over with. All right. So you got to watch these things, exploiting people's emotions, so on and so forth, right? One of the things that they'll use constantly is early childhood trauma, right? Removal from mothers, care of time in foster care systems like that, so on and so forth. All of these different mechanisms of bonding, right? Identity issues, abandonment issues, so on and so forth. All of these things is what they use to justify their variations of behavior. They use these things to justify their behavior, justify their anger, justify their hurt, justify their lash outs. These are the things that they use to justify that stuff, right? Hey, listen, I told y'all I was 10 steps. We 20 steps ahead of them. We 20 steps ahead of them. Atlas family. Have we not always been ahead of them? We have always been ahead of them. We were already prepared for this. Right? Y'all make sure y'all go follow the backup page. We were already prepared for this. We knew what they were going to do. We knew it. I mean, of course, we was hoping that they didn't do it. Even though we know people going to operate how they operate, we still hope that they don't do it, right? So we still was like, please don't do it. Please don't do it. But we knew they were going to do it. So all we did was, it's not up to me. Listen, go back and look. DMX said it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Say when somebody show you who you are, or who they are, appreciate that they showed you who they are, right? You ain't got to change who they are. When somebody around you operate with jealousy, it ain't up to you to try to convince them not to be jealous of you, right? It's up to you to move accordingly around them, right? When you find a snake, it ain't up to you to approach that snake. It's up to you to move accordingly. When you find a raccoon, you ain't going to approach a raccoon the same way you approach a snake. Just the way you ain't gonna approach a bear the same way you approach a snake, right? You gotta approach, once you take observation, you approach that accordingly. You deal with that accordingly, right? It was no need for me to fight them the way that they wanted to fight, because they wanted to operate and they want to try to scar you, hurt you. Guess what? I took your page away. I hurt you. No, you didn't, because I never cared about the page. I cared about the people. As long as the people is waving, who cares about the page? See what I'm saying? And he made himself look foolish because he attacked a non-monetized page, right? He attacked the non-monetized page, right? So he lost all the way around. He lost. They sitting over there celebrating a false victory. We still got 2 pages. We still operating on double time standards. You know what I mean? He's so upset, but that's neither here nor there. Online manipulation, doxing, verbal abuse, and vulnerability. Individuals historical and allegedly dominates and elder abuse, involvement in deceptive fundraising schemes, persistent digital harassment, and revenge behavior. Right now, these are all the things that you can see that will take place inside somebody of this magnitude. Right now, we are going to make some books. Right, we got some cartoons coming out behind these different characters on YouTube. right? We're gonna show y'all a different level of fun behind this. Okay. We're gonna show y'all a different level of how to approach this, right? You're gonna see, like, we don't have to keep on going with this direction of trauma bonding. We can approach it a different way. We can bring the knowledge and enlightenment out a different way, right? We have the technology, we can rebuild it. I'm working with some people right now that's going to bring forth a different variation of this, right? So we're going to bring it to you with fun. Even the history part of this, we're going to rewrite history with cartoons and stuff like that, talking about the Sumerians and stuff like that. So we're going to put a lot of different projects together, and we're just going to start pushing different variations of things. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Why not brand the Atlas family? Why not? Sister Wives Unite. Why not? Fuck it. Let's do it. So we're going to do big things. Love is love. Namaste. Ashe. Salutations. Shalom. If nobody told you today that they love you, let me be the first, but not the last, to tell you that I love you, right? And remember, one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. If you're not thinking highly of yourself, who's going to think highly of you? Okay. So one's image of oneself should be greater than reality. You should always think greater yourself. Okay.
Lately a nigga been fighting a whole lot of
Now
demons.
remember, the trick to this is to keep it under 2 hours.
A lot of shit we do gonna have.
All right. When you keep your video on StreamYard under 2 hours, you can allow a AI generator to automatically generate clips for you. So to make it easier for you to put shorts out there. This is for anybody who's trying to grow their platform on YouTube. This is just a tip, right? Because we're in this together. So there's no way I should be keeping all of these secrets to myself. I should be willingly provide this stuff to everyone, so that way we can unify in a greater way. So that's just the tip of the day right there. And we'll start doing the tip of the day at the end of every live. That way more people can get a greater understanding of how this content creator stuff works, and more people can get a greater understanding of how they too can improve their page and their so all of this happens for a reason. The page got taken for a reason, but you see how fast we're up and growing on another page. That's to show you guys in real time. Just to show you guys in real time. You can do it. You can do it. Right? I know a lot of people say it's so hard, man. I can't get no numbers. They don't come to the room. You can do it. Persistency, right? And we're doing this without showing a visual of ourselves, right? We're just doing this just with the sound of our voice, right? Which is a beautiful thing. So I'm going to show you how to build around yourself social media wise. I did the same thing over on TikTok. We're coming over here to show you examples of that same thing, how to build a YouTube. And the best way to show people how to build a YouTube is to do it hands-on, to do it by example. Love is love. Namaste, Ashe, salutations, shalom, and let's grow together. Okay, let's grow together.
We gotta be ready for him. Emergency. I just got out of surgery.
Y'all put the hearts in the comment section. Y'all put the hearts in the comment section. Y'all know what the hearts are for. Y'all know what the hearts are for. Put the hearts in the comment section. Love is love. Namaste. I say salutations. Shalom. Put the hearts.
I'm sipping his hand and he just pain, but it ain't help.
My little nigga going against the grain, and that's just stressing me.
I pray to God that God have mercy. I'm living a crazy life. I just shot at a nigga for talking some shit on the gang. He paid the price. I was young and the rest for the money. My hunger for paper saved my life. And I should get saved tonight. If you want that lick shit, we can get rich quick. We can get paid tonight. Yeah, go. Dollar bill, y'all. Everybody want the money. Everybody want this shit. Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down. You'll do anything to get it, but when you gonna go out there? Shit, gotta think about it. 187. Murder for hire. You killed a nigga, you don't know it. You gon' go to heaven. Gotta chalk that shit over. You killed a nigga, you. Hey. Fight my demons. So many demons. Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons. Fight it in my. It's me against these demons. Me against these demons. Whoa, I'm fighting these demons up in this ghost. I'm fighting these demons, I'm on the ropes. They came with a beam and one of my coat. Get hit in the spleen if you want to smoke. That money be green, so niggas on go. I'm looking so clean, I used to be poor. Remember they laughed at me, they choked.
Type something in the comment section. Type something in the comment section. I need to see your name so I can give you a rent.
No code, my nigga follow me like the pole.
I don't see your name. I don't see your name.
They say I'm heartless, thanks for the compliment. I seen your dead homie, yell a company. VMG gang, and bitch, we incompetent. Don't wanna hear that shit. I gotta kill that shit. Lethally militant. I can get ignorant. We not considerate. Niggas do silly shit. We get the drilling shit. Guilty and innocent. Don't give a fuck about a bystander. I can pull up in the high ladder.
Don't take no slander. Don't take no slander. Dollar bill, y'all.
Everybody want the money. Everybody want this shit.
Everybody want the money, but don't wanna go down.
You'll do anything to get it, boy. You gon' go up. Shit, gotta think about it.
187.
Murder by
You killed the nigga. You don't know if you gon' go to heaven.
Gotta talk that shit over, dog. Real talk. Hey, fight my demons. Fight my demons. So many demons. Me against these demons. Against these demons. Fight my demons. Fight my demons. It's
Me against these demons.
Living life in case and I
Hey, listen, don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. If I could do it, you could do it. Right? If I could build a page, you could build a page. It's that simple. It starts off slow, you know what I mean? But it gets there. It gets there. You gotta trust. Let people get to know you. People like people that's authentic. People gonna follow you when you your authentic self. People gonna search for you when you your authentic self. Make sure y'all check out the Atlas merch. All right, love is love. Namaste, Ashe, salutations, shalom, peace. And we're gonna go live again and again and again. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. They can't stop it.